I looked online and there's just not a lot of information, and it's very confusing. You get all these wires and you're like, what do I need to do with these wires? Do I need to use them? How hard is this install? Maybe this is something for the professionals. I'm telling you guys, I'm not a professional. Anyone can do this. You can do this as well. It is dead easy. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. It's cold up here in Canada and I need to get my remote starter working on my Chevy Avalanche. Today we are installing an aftermarket remote starter on this truck. Now, if you have a key fob that, well, this is an aftermarket one, but if you have a key fob that has the little inverse arrow or half circle on it, then you probably already have a factory remote start, and I will demonstrate how that works. So what you normally would do is press lock once, and then push and hold. And then your lights will turn on and the truck will start. So if you have a Chevy or a Cadillac or a Buick vehicle and you have that half circle, probably you already have a remote starter. So why then are we installing an aftermarket remote starter onto this truck? Well, the answer is simple. The range on this remote starter is only as far as the key will reach. Now I have this aftermarket remote starter because the range on this was starting to suffer a lot. I could barely, and I'll show you guys, get it to start from that window in the house. So from there to there is like 30 feet. Now 30 feet range is fine in the morning, but when I'm at my regular day job, I need it to be able to start from like 100 or 200 or 300 feet, depending on how close I'm able to park to the building. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. So I'm going to walk you through how I installed this, which is, well, actually this, which is the iDatastart brain hub. We're going to use the GM10 T-harness, which makes this install extremely easy. And then we're also going to install this First Tech drone LTE hub, which allows me to use my cell phone to start this truck anywhere in the world. Now, if I step back, you guys can see that I've already kind of pulled everything apart, and that's because I didn't want to do a complete walkthrough step by step. What I'm going to do is show you what I've done to install this with the easiest method possible. Now, when you first open this kit up, you're going to have extra wires that look like this. You're going to have wires that look like this. You're going to get this hood pin wiring, and you're going to get this, and all of that is going to make this install look really, really hard. But the reality is we are not going to use any of these wires for the install. I'm going to throw them right there so that we'll forget about them. All we're going to use is this T-harness. So I'm going to walk you through what we did. The first thing we did was opened up all of this space here. The way you do that, there's one little screw right here, there's one little screw right here, and then there's a 10mm bolt right here that holds your emergency brake cable lever. Once you do all of that, and you pop this side panel off, so you're going to pop this side panel off like that, throw it over there, then this will just kind of pop off and fall down. Even this little metal harness fell off, which I don't think that's normal, but probably someone's been under this dash before, but that will come off. It'll expose all of this. Then we popped off my steering wheel surround, and normally this will have screws holding it in as well, but on mine the screws weren't even there. But there's a screw there and there's a screw there, which you can undo, and then it just pulls straight down. Now to get it over, where is it? Yes. You also have your steering, your tilt steering lever, which that just pulled right out. I just popped that right off like that. So we pulled all of that off to expose the wiring harness. Now when we're looking at the wiring harness, there's two that we're interested in. There's this guy here, which is for your key security system. And then there's this guy right here, which is the actual ignition cylinder. And this is just a T-harness. So all we've done is unplugged this connector and then unplugged this connector and plugged them into our T-harness. Now, I don't really want to have to unplug it again, so I'll try and show you guys. So this one marked VS1 and VS2. It's real simple. You unplug the harness, that was this guy, from the ignition module, and then you plug it into the harness at VS1, and then VS2 plugs in where you unplugged the other harness. So all it's doing, I mean, it's impossible to screw this up. It'll only plug in one way, and all we're doing is taking, let me back this up a bit, we're taking the plug off, plugging it into the harness, and then plugging the harness back in where we took it off. Then we're taking this one off, and then plugging it into the harness where it came off. On this T-harness, there are these wires here as well, which can get hooked up somewhere. I don't know where they go. I'm going to tape them off and leave them. And then it just comes to here, which is our iDatastart module. Now this module can be hooked up one of two ways. You can hook it up with the T-harness that we just showed you here. This harness is about $100, or it does have wiring that you can plug into here and do the hardwired connection into there, which is the kind of the old school way of doing it, where you're tying into modules, tying into wires, cutting, splicing, taping, everything. I do not recommend that method. I recommend you get this harness. There will be a harness for your vehicle that is called a T-harness. So if you're not installing this on a Chevy Avalanche, you can look up what vehicle the T-harness will work for and which one you need. But they will all plug into the module right here like this. Now, the only other thing here is this First Tech drone module, which has been plugged into this blue port right here. So I have not cut any wires. I have not done anything except unplug the wires here, plug them into the T-harness, plug the T-harness into here, and then plug the drone module into here as well. Because this is an automatic transmission, I have also cut this loop here, which is for if it's a manual transmission. You have to cut it. It won't actually work unless you cut that wire. So once I've done all this, it's time to program the module. Now, depending on where you bought it, they may program it for you. Mine was supposed to have been programmed already, but when I got it, it did not work. So the seller I bought it from did not pre-program this, even though they said they would. I sent them my vehicle information. It was not programmed. Luckily, I had already bought this. This is the web link updater. And all this does, it has an end here that you plug into here, just like that. And then the other end here, right there, plugs into your computer, and it allows you to program all the features and functions that you want this to perform, and it lets you say, I'm installing it on this vehicle and I want this feature. Now, the programming itself is not hard, but it can be a little confusing. When you're using the WebLink tool, you create a free login, and it's very, very easy. I've got this device, I'm installing it on this vehicle. In my case, I controlled it with factory OEM lock, and I also am adding the drone remote start option with my cell phone. It also gives you the ability to pull up an install guide and a product guide. So the install guide, when you get it, it's going to walk you through the exact install. So in my case, I had that T-harness and it was just like this. I will download that file and I will make it available. I'll put a link in the description for that file so you can follow along. Once you're done, there is a programming procedure. Now, the programming procedure is a little bit confusing. You have to open and close the door, you have to turn the key to on, you have to push the button, watch for a certain sequence. But if you did it all successfully, in my case, you can start it by pushing lock 3 times on the factory fob or use your cell phone. Now, I've tested it with the 3 times lock, but I have not tested it with my cell phone. So I'm going to close this door here. I'm gonna pull out my cell phone, which I've got right here, and you guys are gonna see. So the unlock should work. There we go. So I pushed unlock, the door opened. That's good. It says it's unlocked. Now I should be able to hit start. It's going to want me to hold it down. And then what you'll see is a bunch of clicks. So it clicked and it started up. Now this is blinking and making noise. And now it says started successfully and a 15-minute timer begins to run. So my drone device is now starting my truck. So now I can start my truck with no wire limitations. I can go anywhere I want in the world, and as long as I have internet, I can start the truck using this drone software. Now, a couple of you are going to be asking as far as, you know, extra features. So you do have the ability to add different fobs that have different ranges on them. So those ranges can be anywhere from 1,000 feet to 3,000 feet. In my use case, those actually would work just fine. But those modules, to add them on, are an extra $100. Whereas, or more, this module is about $100. You have to pay a monthly subscription to be able to use it. The monthly subscription is like $6 a month. It's very, very cheap. But having the ability to use your cell phone to start your car has a lot of benefits for me, because there are times where I'm like at a movie theater and I want to start the car, or I'm farther away. I get very good two-way communication with this, so I always know if it worked or didn't work. I'm not guessing if the remote got the signal back or not. Plus, you can tie this in with like Google Home, so that you can just say, Google, start my truck, and it will just start. You can build profiles, you can build schedules where it will just start your truck. Now, it's very hard to get these on Amazon. I will put links to as much of this stuff as I can on Amazon, but really the best way I found to get this is actually on eBay, but it's so hit and miss. So I told you guys, I bought it, told the guy the vehicle, and he was supposed to program it. He didn't. So once you've got it, what do? So that web link programmer is an additional, it's like 80 bucks I think I paid for it. I strongly recommend just get it, because it makes the installation so much simpler. Plus you can install in future if you really wanted to as well. So that makes it very, very beneficial for future proofing. Plus, this module here actually works on many, many different vehicles. So if I ever were to sell my truck, I would pop the T-harness off and abandon it, keep this module, keep this drone module, and then I can just get a new T-harness and install this on pretty much any vehicle that I want. So there's a lot of benefits to just getting the right equipment from the start, especially if you own a lot of vehicles or whatever. So obviously I haven't put this all back together because I wanted to test it first. So now that I know that 100% works, I'm really happy. I'm gonna do some wire management, tuck this all up underneath and close it all up. But I wanted to show you guys exactly how the install works, because I looked online and there's just not a lot of information, and it's very confusing. You get all these wires and you're like, what do I need to do with these wires? Do I need to use them? How hard is this install? Maybe this is something for the professionals. I'm telling you guys, I'm not a professional. Anyone can do this. Get the T-harness. You can do this as well. It is dead easy as long as you follow the instructions. I can look at making a future video walking you through the actual programming of the module if you guys need it. Okay, so if you need it, put a comment, say, Anton, we really could use the programming sequence. Just walk us through it so we can see it. But otherwise, just follow the directions in the manual and it works just fine. I'm gonna close this all up. Stay tuned for future videos. We got you covered. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. you can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.